There's so much here. I mean, this is why we have to have an impeachment inquiry. We need justice. We need to know what the heck was going down the National Archives, okay? How do you like this? National Archives finally getting back here to the group that had requested some information about those, various emails that Mr. Biden, that would be Senior Joe, went by. So I'm looking at the response that the National Archives gave to the Southeastern Legal Foundation that's looking for this information. They had filed a FOIA request, Freedom of Information Act. And it turns out there's like over 5,100 email messages. He used all these different weird names, Robert L. Peterson, Robert L. Ware. I mean, it goes on and on and on. So he's got indeed also some kind of weird secret server. We've been trying to track down where that secret server, like you can't find, some of them were going to pci.gov. I assume that's just personal something information.gov. That really doesn't seem to exist, but National Archives will have it. So again, this is something else that needs to come out in the impeachment inquiry, because I think you got a lot of evidence there for a lot of trouble. And nobody wants this coming out, especially at a time when you're about to get $24 billion for Ukraine. Biden's out there asking Congress for $40 billion to support Ukraine and also to deal with some of these disaster relief efforts. I should point out, it's only $12 million that would go to any disaster issues. It's 12 times 2 that would go to Ukraine. I mean, this is an insane amount of money. We're talking about $135 billion that is expected to be spent this year. It means that we would be basically outpacing what we spent in Afghanistan over a 20-year time period. Like, how does that make sense? I mean, I've said this is like one giant money pit. And then there's Tony Blinken, whiz-bang Secretary of State. This guy is, McCain was onto him. Here he is saying, oh, we're still committed. He is so boring. I mean, this is worse than McCarthy. I'm giving you full warning here, but stay with me, because you have to hear it. We'll discuss it.
Of Ukraine on anti-corruption efforts and on efforts to ensure accountability and full transparency of all the assistance we're providing, as well as the security of U.S.-provided defense articles and technologies.
Okay. That wasn't all of it, so I'm going to torch you a little bit more.
For Ukraine not only to survive, but to thrive, we're also supporting its efforts to rebuild from Russia's aggression. At the Ukraine Recovery Conference held in London a few months ago, I pledged that the United States would invest more than $520 million in making Ukraine's energy infrastructure, more than half of which has been destroyed by Russia, cleaner, more resilient, and more integrated with Europe. We're making new investments to enhance the transparency of Ukraine's institutions and to bolster the rule of law so that Ukraine's democracy is even more responsive to the needs of its people and can attract the private capital needed to rebuild. We're engaged in assisting the government of Ukraine on anti-corruption efforts and on efforts to ensure accountability and full transparency of all the assistance we're providing, as well as the security of U.S.-provided defense articles.
Blah, blah, blah. So in other words, he's going to do everything in his power to just make sure that this goes on and on and on, and we spend as much as we can possibly humanly ever spend. I mean, this is troubling. Hey everyone, Trish Regan here. If you enjoyed that clip, please do me the favor of subscribing to the channel. Just hit that little subscribe button right over there. Did I do that right? Not quite, but you know where it is. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so that you get the alerts, and I'll see you back on the show.